Hello everyone, it's me, that divination witch. I hope you're doing well. I'm back with another witchy video, another in my series of deities and spirits that I've met over the years. And this angel was requested for me to talk about, and you'll know who it is from the thumbnail and title, but it's Archangel Michael. So I'm going to talk about my experience with him, let you know my UPG. So let's get into it. And if you don't know who I am, hello and welcome. My name's Sarah. I go by that divination witch. This is my witchy safe space where no question is a silly question. I answer as much as I can, just be down to earth, share what I can. And yeah, I'm happy to help. So I hope you stick around. Please hit subscribe if you like that. And I've also got a link tree, which is just below, where you can get a reading from me, either on my shop or Patreon. And I offer other services, hints and tips, things like that. So I'd be so grateful if you could check it out. Thank you. If you're not new to the channel, then you will know I'm not biased when it comes to deities. I personally believe that we have good and bad, dark and light within all of us, and we need both to exist. The universe is built on both. The Chinese may call that yin and yang within, I think it's Taoism, isn't it? Hinduism may call that karma. Psychologists may call that cause and effect. Whatever you want to call it, it is universal law. Feminine, the masculine, the dark, the light, the yin, the yang. Two halves of a whole. It's two sides of the same coin. So when it comes to angels and demons, that's how I see them. I don't necessarily think, the more I have come to learn about them, that they're all good and they're all bad on either side. I don't necessarily think that they're all kids of Yahweh that were either angels or fallen angels. Because there are some demons out there that were once gods in their own right, that were then demonized, like Baal. There are some demons out there that were jinn, which are another kettle of fish. There were some demons out there that were, well, just spirits, I suppose. And then there are some angels out there that are known for being a child of Yahweh. Some that are more light beings. Some that are conflated with other gods as well, as in like conflated meaning crossed over with other gods. It's a very complex system and deity work in general isn't simple. But I just, knocked the microphone. But I just wanted to start this video off by saying that, especially for any newbies that might catch this video who've never watched any of my stuff before, that's what I believe. And I don't believe that there is this massive spiritual warfare thing, the way that people describe. Yes, angels and demons are opposites. And yes, there are going to be clashes. And yes, there are some that don't really get along. But there are others that are willing to set differences aside for the greater good. I firmly believe that. And, as above, so below. It's another thing people say. That's the way it is. So, Michael. He's probably the most popular angel. He's known in all the Abrahamic religions. I believe the Catholics call him Saint Michael. He is the leader of the archangels. He is a warrior, a light warrior, you could say. He's very right-hand path and positively polarized. When he is in the room, he lights up the room, energetically speaking. He is so powerful, his energy gives you a headache. But I just want to say, in contrast, someone else who's so powerful, their energy gives me a headache, is Belial, who is meant to be one of the demons, So whether it's left-hand path or right-hand path, if a deity or a spirit is powerful, they can give you a headache no matter what. It's not necessarily a bad thing, is what I'm trying to say there. But yes, he is probably the most popular angel because of Abrahamic religions. I believe, and this is just my theory, this bit, but I believe he is a light being. He is probably one of the first light beings there was. His energy is so ancient that yes, he can appear to you as a humanoid form, as a man. And when he does appear like that, he looks a bit like the artwork. He has brown hair, he is handsome, he is strong, he has a chest plate, armour, wings, white big angel wings, stereotypical. And I know, there's a whole meme, especially at the moment, about biblically accurate angels. I've not seen Michael as anything like that with loads of eyeballs and whatever. I have seen some other angels like that, mind, but not him, at least not yet. I have, however, and I'm seeing him now, even as I'm talking about him because he's listening, as just bright light. Like, just a bright light. Just pure light. And white and blue energy within that light. The colour blue really resonates with me and him, when I think of him. I've never worked with Michael. I've known people who have, people from all walks of life. I've known Norse pagans that have. I've known demonologists that have. I've known witches that have, and other pagans that have. He, believe it or not, can set differences aside. For all he is the leader of the archangels, one of the most ancient angel energies there is, and most powerful angel energies that there is. My experience with him is he can set differences aside for the greater good of you. If he is here to help you, he is here to help you. He doesn't judge. He's open-minded. And he has good intentions. He really does. When it comes to angels, the way I've described them as well myself on this channel in an older video, which I need to revisit because I've learned more since then. But angels sometimes don't quite grasp human emotion the same way as some other deities might. That doesn't mean they're ignorant. That doesn't mean they're not intelligent, because they're way more intelligent than us. But us humans have so many feelings that are complex and mean a lot to us. Sometimes we can't see the bigger picture, and we get trapped in our emotions and feelings. And that's how we get stuck in toxic situations, because we don't want to hurt people's feelings and things like this, even though it's not good for us. We do things that are not good for us as well. Smoking, drinking, eating the wrong food, things like this. Angels, on the whole, don't understand that bit. I mean, they understand in a way from the outside in that it's kind of like, well, humans do this for human reasons, but it isn't logical. If I was to put an angel as a fictional character, I would say Spock from Star Trek. Spock is a mastermind. He's a genius and he is logical. And isn't that his saying? It's illogical. His race of aliens or whatever don't quite understand when the others in Star Trek are being emotionally driven. It's like, well, what are you doing that for? Sometimes they can be that way. And that's where this whole, I want to say misinformation, but it's not quite misinformation, where this whole thing where people say they're more like robots comes from. They're not robots. But I have myself compared it more to AI, to put it in human terms, that they're less emotional than us in the same way. And if you ask an angel for something, they will go the most logical route. They don't always take into account the nuances of feelings and emotions, whereas demons do, on the whole. Demons feel things in a deep, deep way. And there are other deities, that do things like this, from other pantheons. But some demons as well, mind. I will just nuance this as saying that, in my experience, there are some that don't like humans, definitely not, and you don't want to trifle with them, is what I would say. But I'm digressing a bit. When it comes to Michael, he tries to understand, and he does on the whole, but he is an angel, and sometimes, he will get you to where you need to be in the most direct way. So if that means, say, you're living in this is an example, right? You're living in a town that you hate, and all your neighbours are nasty to you. And you can't find a way out because you can't afford to move, and you're asking for help. So you get your house burnt down. It's kind of like that. It's the most extreme, quickest, logical route. And angel magic and working with angels, it's very fast paced. Some rituals can take a little while, some are very complex, don't get me wrong. I've known them to take weeks, if not longer, if it's high magic. But results straight away. They don't mess around. They don't take the long way around. If you are committed and dedicated and do as you're told, then they'll show up for you every time. They really will. And Michael is a guardian angel to a lot of people, and he has angels underneath him. The way I see guardian angels is sometimes they're very personal to us, that only you would know their name, sort of thing. But he, being a leader, he has a lot that answer to him, sort of thing. And he looks after a lot of people as a guardian angel himself. He cares about humanity a hell of a lot, and he fights for humanity a hell of a lot. He is a warrior. He is a light warrior, you could say, and he is a protector. And when it comes to divine warfare, this whole spiritual warfare thing, it's not a case of angel versus demon. Not in the way people say. But if it boiled down to it, Michael would defend you against anything nasty. If that was a demon or a negative entity or whatever, he'd do that. He'd smite them. And I wouldn't want to get on his bad side. I really wouldn't. He is good at his job, at what he does. If you want to work with him, you don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be a member of the Abrahamic religion. You just need to show respect and understanding. Now, you don't have to follow Yahweh either. I know that is a triggery thing for a lot of you guys, especially if you've came from a strict religious background. Yahweh, it's a video I need to talk about at some point. I've got a complex relationship with him, but I'm not religiously scarred, by him. But some people don't want to answer to him. Well, you don't have to work with Michael. You don't have to have any involvement with him at all. He may be the head of the pantheon, sort of thing, but you don't have to do that. So don't worry there. It doesn't have to be for life. It can be for a short period of time. And Michael, I have noticed, he works a lot with left-hand path people as well. He's not going to try convert you into Abrahamic religion or Christianity. That is very much a human thing. He doesn't ask for much in the way of offerings and things like that. I feel like angels in general, being what they are, they don't really care for human things the way us humans do. Like some deities really love us humans, as in, they think it's sweet when it's like, I hate to say it, but it's like, if a cat catches, I don't know, a mouse for you, they're doing it out the goodness of their heart. They're giving you a gift, We sometimes give offerings to deities like that don't really want it, but it's like, oh, that's sweet, thanks. Oh my God, thanks though. Angels are like, well, don't waste it. Give them a candle. They are very much air element beings, even though we have angels of earth and angels of fire and all this stuff. But they're light beings, they're light and airy. They don't need a lot in the way of material things. If you do want to give them food and material things, I mean, think of simple things, a glass of water even, things that are fresh as well, like fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, things like that. But it's not necessary from a pagan point of view. Light them a candle. just show them respect. You can pray to them if you feel inclined. You can just say some words to them. It's not all that complex. If you want to get complex, there are rituals, there are esoteric books out there, especially within Jewish mysticism, that you could maybe research and have a look. There's the Sephiroth you could go through, which is the tree of life. Angels rule over that. The Qliphoth is the tree of death. It's opposite. Demons rule over that. So you could look into that if you're so inclined. That is something a lot of people on the occult side of things do. But yeah, it's all very personal, and I don't really know what else to say about him. I've never worked with him. He's came through a few times for people. He's always been polite and friendly and had a smile on his face when I've seen him in a human form. Never felt threatened by him. Never felt worried. Never felt anything bad or intimidating from him. Felt his power, yes. Had a headache off him more than once, yes. But hey ho, it's the way it goes when you're confirming deities for people. They are powerful beings. It can take a lot of your energy. So yeah, there we are. That's my experience with Michael. And yeah, for the person that wanted me to talk about him, I hope that helped. I hope it gave you some insight as to the way I see him and see things. And yeah, good luck if you are interested in working with him or speaking with him. He's more than happy to help. So until next time, stay safe, stay witchy, and also if there's anyone else you want me to talk about, just put it in the comments. Take care. Bye.